Welcome to Reframe, the podcast where we're redefining what's possible, one mindset shift at a time. I'm Jess, your guide on this journey to help you to rewrite your story and transform from the inside out. Let's dive into how small changes in the way you think can lead to big changes in the way you live. Welcome to the first episode of the Reframe podcast. I have been wanting to do a podcast for so long, and usually when I get a project, business, life idea, I impulsively and imperfectly dive in. And don't get me wrong, this is imperfect. But for some reason with a podcast, I just knew that I'd know when it was the right time. And I never consciously held back for a particular reason. It wasn't fear. And even when I saw friends of mine starting their own podcasts, I didn't get this sense of urgency. I didn't get FOMO or feel shame or all of the good stuff that we tend to get when we feel we should be doing something that we've had a spark of interest in. I just trusted. I was patient. And now is the time. So for those of you who have said to me over the years, you need to start a podcast, we're here. It's happening. Also, it just seems like the most natural thing in the world because my besties get like 20-minute voice notes from me, which is actually an intention I want to set with this, making it bite-sized for a podcast anyway, keeping these episodes short and sweet. And I feel like over time, I'll explain more why that's important to me. So this first episode is a bit of an intro to me because I don't know about you, but when I find a podcast episode or an account on Instagram or a YouTube video, even if I love it and I learn from it, I want to know more about them, the creator, the person that's sharing the information. If I just wanted facts, I'd ask ChatGPT. Okay, I want to relate to someone, I want to connect with them. So, on that note, I'm Jess. Some of you may have known me for a long time, since the blogging and YouTube days, since Lilypod and Sweet Pea. Who remembers that one? Others may have found me since I entered the mindset and coaching space around 6 years ago now. And if you're completely new here, welcome. Hopefully you'll get to know me a little bit in this episode and the ones to come. So, I'm first and foremost a single mum to two amazing boys who are, at the time of recording this, which is December 2024, they are 10 and 8 years old. And the journey that I'm currently on as a mum is one of parenting ADHD and ASC, as well as now going through my own diagnosis of ADHD. So I'm kind of learning how to parent again. I feel like I learned it once when I became a mum of one, then a mum of two, and then again when I became a single mum, and now a third time with all the neurospicy joys and challenges that have been thrown in. And in fact, I learned as a stepmom before even having my own. So I feel like parenting is just this forever expansion. And I often say to the boys things like, I've never been a mum to a 10 and an 8-year-old before. Like, this is new to me too. So I think it's important to remember that we're always learning. Each stage that we're at is always going to be new to us. Like, we're all new to something here. So let's give ourselves some grace. So I've been a single mum for around 6 years now, and it's been a journey, one of extreme highs and extreme lows. But thanks to my own growth and healing journey and a lot of the work that I want to share with you all on this podcast, I feel like I'm in a great place. And don't get me wrong, life's being a single mum, a single woman, a co-parent, a business owner, wanting to prioritize my well-being while also being present with my loved ones and succeeding in my work. It's a lot, but the work that I've done on myself has expanded my capacity to deal with it in a way that makes it all feel exciting and full of gratitude and, of course, a bit of overwhelm thrown in. So as I mentioned, I started my journey as a mummy blogger and YouTuber, reviewing pushchairs and talking breastfeeding and all of that jazz. And I loved it. But when I went through my separation, I became so depressed overwhelmed. I was this chronic people pleaser in victim mode. I felt desperate to feel worthy. I couldn't feel grateful for everything that I had, and I had so much. I was just always in lack mode. And so much of this now I see was undiagnosed ADHD, but that's for another episode. And I really quite desperately started trying to find different things to help me to feel better. So different types of movement, Reiki, meditation, therapy, journaling, you name it. And naturally, I started sharing that journey. And I had so many women who were on the same or similar journeys to me reaching out for support. So I shared more and more and just naturally kind of transitioned into the wellness space. And then I became an ambassador for a really popular skincare company, which I feel like I can say, Tropic. And I had huge success with it. I was helping women to switch to non-toxic skincare products and to transform their skin and their confidence. And then I started helping women to start their own businesses within the company. And I think I had a team of about 50 women, which was just amazing. And then I got an incredible opportunity to gain a life coaching qualification. And I'll explain the story of that in another episode because it was one of those real moments of alignment for me. And really, I went ahead with it to help myself because I thought, if I can learn how to be a life coach, I'll hopefully be able to make myself feel better. And then maybe use some of the skills to help coach some of the women in my skincare business. But what I learned when I got that qualification blew my mind so much that I knew it had to become my sole focus, helping women to shift their mindset and to feel better. So I then went on and qualified as an NLP practitioner, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which just blows my mind. So I'll be sharing lots of NLP stuff in this podcast as well. So fast forward to now, I'm the founder of the Journal Club, where I help and guide predominantly women, but also men, to reframe their mindsets through the power of journaling. I also run masterminds, masterclasses. I have a beautiful range of physical journals, some that are plain and some that have guided prompts in. I do in-person events, but ultimately my passion is in helping women to see that they're not restricted by their belief system, that they have the power, that you, listening to this, have the power to change how you perceive and therefore how you experience not only yourself, but others and the world around you. And that's what I hope to bring to this podcast: mindset reframes, journaling guidance, simple well-being tools to elevate your life. And when I say simple, I really mean it, because I'm a certified soccer mum 5 times a week. I'm in a neurospicy house with a wild dog. I'm running my own businesses. So I know firsthand that no one has time for a 10-step morning routine and expensive courses that we're not going to finish. Okay, life is for living. And if you can take something from this podcast that makes your life a little bit easier, a little bit more fun, more joyous, whether you listen and you just feel heard, or you feel seen, or you just feel like you're not alone, or maybe you get that one tip that transforms your world. If any of those things happen, then Reframe, the podcast, has been a success for me. So that is my intro episode, first episode of the pod. I am firstly so proud of myself. I think it's really important that we acknowledge when we're proud of ourselves. And again, that's something that I want to share throughout this podcast, the mindset reframes of shifting the perspectives from things that we have been conditioned from growing up, from our parents, the media, the government, now social media, really deconditioning all of the things that we've been conditioned to believe about ourselves and others and the world around us. And I think one of those is not being a show-off and not being cocky. And, you know, when people say, oh, she loves herself, doesn't she? And actually being able to have the reframe of, yes, I do love myself. I'm proud of myself. Look at what I've achieved. This is amazing. So yes, I am so excited to bring you so much more mindset, well-being and wellness goodness. And if you liked listening to this first episode, please do share it. Please do tag me if you do share it. Tag me at @the_journal club. Send me a DM. Rate it. I'm sure that I hear people saying at the end of their podcasts to rate the podcast. That would be amazing. And let's reframe.